Today, we are breaking down the 7 levels of electric bike technology, from the raw, dangerous imported machines that actively try to kill you, all the way up to the level 7 AI-assisted superbikes that literally change their own geometry while you ride. Plug in, subscribe, and let's ride. Level 1, the Caveman Electrons. Level 1 is the Wild West. This is the absolute basement of electric motorcycle technology. We're talking about the AliExpress hub motors and the unbranded imports. Take the Fly e-bike 3000W Grom clone, for example. From 50 feet away, it looks like a miniature Ducati or a Kawasaki Z125. But underneath the cheap neon plastic fairings is a heavy, outdated lead-acid battery strapped to a 3,000-watt rear hub motor. At level 1, there is zero skill replacement. In fact, you need more skill to survive this machine. There are no safety nets here. The throttle response on these clones is violently jerky because the cheap controllers don't know how to smooth out the power curve. The weight distribution is completely ruined, making the bike handle like a shopping cart full of bowling balls. The brakes are made of compressed hopes and dreams. When you ride a level 1 electric bike, your brain is in a constant state of panic. You aren't worried about cornering lines. You are worried about the controller catching fire. It is raw, honest, and terrifying. Level 2, the Appliance Age. Level 2 is where corporations decided to make electric bikes accessible. And by accessible, they meant boring. Look at the Saunders Metacycle. When this bike was announced, it broke the internet. It had a gorgeous, hollow aluminum frame and promised 80 miles per hour for just $5,000. When it finally delivered, years late, it weighed 330 pounds, handled like a wheelbarrow, and the battery died after 20 miles of highway riding. Here, the skill replacement theory takes its first real step. The manufacturers designed level 2 bikes for people who have never ridden a motorcycle before. They smoothed out the throttle, lowered the seat heights, and capped the power to keep you safe. Psychologically, level 2 bikes are transportation stripped of emotion. You don't need to know how to rev match. You don't need to worry about being in the wrong gear. You just twist your wrist and the bike glides forward. It is incredibly practical, but it removes the psychological reward of riding. It turns a motorcycle into a washing machine. You put your destination in, and the machine handles the rest. Level 3, the Dopamine Hackers. Level 3 is where the electric market completely lost its mind. This is the chaotic neutral tier. Welcome to machines like the Sur-Ron Light BX. On paper, this looks like a mountain bike on steroids. Out of the box, it weighs 110 pounds and goes about 45 miles per hour. But the culture around this bike is entirely based on aftermarket controllers and massive 72-volt batteries. Riders are pushing 15,000 watts through a machine the size of a bicycle. This is a psychological hacking tool. Here is where the illusion of skill comes in. On a gas-powered dirt bike, doing a 50-mile-per-hour wheelie requires precise clutch control, throttle modulation, and rear brake timing. It takes months to learn. On a modified Sur-Ron, the instant electric torque is so powerful and so immediate that it basically cheats physics. You just blip the throttle and the front wheel floats. The machine replaces your need for clutch mastery. It gives you an unearned dopamine hit, making you feel like a professional stunt rider overnight. They are silent, deadly, and are breeding an entire generation of urban hooligans who terrorize city streets because the cops literally cannot catch them. Level 4, the 6-axis nanny. Level 4 is where the heavyweights enter the chat, the massive legacy corporations who took internal combustion technology and swapped it for raw voltage. The Harley-Davidson Livewire sits perfectly here. This is a premium machine with 105 horsepower, Brembo brakes, and Showa suspension. It does 0 to 60 in 3 seconds flat, completely in silence. The real star of Level 4 is the Inertial Measurement Unit, or IMU. When you have an electric motor producing maximum torque at 0 RPM, it is very easy to accidentally flip the bike over backwards. To prevent this, Level 4 bikes use a 6-axis computer that monitors the pitch, roll, and yaw of the motorcycle 100 times per second. This is where skill replacement becomes undeniable. If you grab a handful of throttle on a live wire in a wet corner, the bike doesn't spin out. The computer detects the microscopic slip of the rear tire and cuts power to the electric motor in a fraction of a millisecond. You feel like a riding god, carving corners flawlessly, but it isn't you. The bike is doing the math. It allows average riders to harness massive torque without dying, shifting the psychological burden of survival from the human to the silicon. Level 5, the digital paywalls. Level 5 represents the darkest psychological shift in modern motorcycling. The bikes are brilliant, but the business model is dystopian. Take the Zero SR-F. It is an incredible naked street fighter that makes 140 foot-pounds of torque. It is fast, refined, and beautifully built. But Zero introduced something that alienated their entire fan base: software locks. They physically built the bikes with heated grips, faster chargers, and maximum battery capacity already installed on the assembly line. But when you bought the bike, the software locked those features away. You had to log onto an app and pay extra to unlock the hardware you were already sitting on. Psychologically, this destroys the bond between the rider and the machine. Since the dawn of motorcycling, when you bought a bike, it was yours. You owned the metal. At Level 5, you don't own the bike, you were just renting the software permissions. Zero faced massive backlash and rolled back some of these paywalls, but Level 5 proves a terrifying point. In the electric era, the code is more powerful than the motor. Level 6, the track titans. Level 6 strips away the commuters and the toys. These are machines built for absolute, uncompromising track dominance. Welcome to Italy and the Energica Ego. Energica was the sole supplier for the Moto E World Championship, the electric equivalent of MotoGP. The Ego produces 171 horsepower and a neck-snapping 159 foot-pounds of torque. The defining characteristic of Level 6 is mass. Because it needs a massive battery to sustain track speeds, the Energica Ego weighs around 570 pounds. That is the weight of a heavy touring cruiser packed into a super sports chassis. Riding an Energica requires a psychological paradox. The computer manages the insane acceleration flawlessly, but the computer cannot manage gravity. When you approach a corner at 140 miles per hour, you have to physically wrestle nearly 600 pounds of Italian engineering to the apex. It demands intense physical skill to turn the bike, but zero skill to accelerate it. When you open the throttle on corner exit, the mass seemingly vanishes as the instant torque catapults you forward so violently that gas-powered superbikes genuinely struggle to keep up. It is the ultimate hybrid of human muscle and digital perfection. Level 7, the sci-fi co-pilots, the reality hackers. And finally, Level 7, the absolute apex of electric technology. These bikes don't just replace your skills, they actively rewrite the rules of reality. Look at the Damon Hypersport. This is an electric superbike designed to keep you alive using artificial intelligence and radar. The Hypersport features a 360-degree radar and camera system that scans the traffic around you in real time. If a car slams on its brakes ahead of you or drifts into your blind spot, the handlebars physically vibrate to warn you. Even crazier is its shift technology. While riding down the highway, you press a button and the bike physically transforms. The windshield raises, the foot pegs drop down, and the handlebars lift up, turning a hunched-over superbike into a comfortable sport tourer while you are moving at 70 miles per hour. At Level 7, total skill replacement is achieved. The bike watches your blind spots, warns you of danger, and shifts its own geometry on the fly. You are no longer just a rider, you are a systems manager, overseeing a two-wheeled supercomputer. So there it is, the 7 levels of electric motorcycles and the terrifying reality of the skill replacement theory. We started with unbranded imports that wobble at 30 miles per hour, and we ended up with AI-assisted shape-shifting superbikes that calculate physics faster than the human brain can process. The purists are right to be a little scared. Electric bikes are brilliant. They are unbelievably fast, and they are the inevitable future. But they force us to ask a deeply psychological question. As the machines get smarter, safer, and faster, what happens to the rider? When the bike does all the hard work, does hitting the perfect apex still feel like an achievement? Where do you draw the line? Are you an analog purist who wants a carburetor and a Kickstarter? Or are you ready for a level 7 supercomputer that does the math for you? Let me know in the comments below. Defend your favorite era of technology. Hit that like button to feed the algorithm and subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive. Ride safe.